You know, every single day, our phones are having this silent conversation. A conversation about where we are, where we've been, and maybe even where we're going next. In this chat, it's creating a digital map of our physical lives, and it's powering this massive, mostly invisible industry. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain on location-based advertising and the data that really fuels the whole thing.
So, just how big are we talking? Well, check out this number. By 2032, the global location-based advertising market, it's projected to be worth almost $400 billion. I mean, that is a colossal amount of money. All of it built on one single, incredibly valuable thing, knowing exactly where you are at any given moment.
It's an experience we've probably all had, right? You're just walking down the street and boom, a notification pops up on your phone with a discount for a store you're literally about to pass. It can feel a little bit like magic or maybe a little creepy, but it's actually a super sophisticated system, one that's been precision engineered to turn your physical location into a marketing opportunity. Okay, so how does this actually work? That perfectly timed coffee offer, it is not a coincidence. It's the very last step in a long process where your phone is constantly broadcasting its location, basically just waiting for the right moment and the right place to hit you with that ad.
Think about it. Every time you use a map, or check the weather, or even just scroll through social media, your device is generating location data. And over time, all these little data points build this remarkably detailed digital footprint. It's like a log of your daily commute, all your favorite spots, and even your shopping habits.
So how does your phone know where you are with such crazy precision? Well, it's not just one single piece of tech. It's actually a combination of different methods, all working together, kind of in a cascade, to pinpoint your location, whether you're outside hiking or inside a mall.
First up, the one we all know, GPS. Your phone talks to satellites way up in orbit to calculate its exact position on the globe. It's absolutely the gold standard for outdoor navigation, but the second you step inside a building, that signal can just vanish. So what takes over then? Well, that's where cell tower triangulation comes in. See, your phone is always communicating with nearby cell towers. By measuring the signal strength from a few different towers at once, the network can get a pretty good estimate of where you are. It's not as pinpoint accurate as GPS, but it's a fantastic fallback, especially in dense cities. Now, for even better indoor accuracy, you've got Wi-Fi positioning. Companies have these massive, crowdsourced maps of pretty much every Wi-Fi network out there. Your phone just scans for networks nearby, checks them against this giant map, and bam, it can figure out where you are inside a shopping mall or an airport. And then you get to the most granular level of all, Bluetooth beacons. These are tiny little transmitters a store might hide in different aisles. As you walk by with that store's app open on your phone, a beacon can trigger a super specific notification, like an offer for the exact box of cereal you're standing right in front of.
All right, so they know where you are. Now what? How do advertisers actually turn that piece of data into a sale? Because it's not just about knowing where you are right now, it's about using that information to influence where you go next.
One of the key techniques here is called geofencing. An advertiser literally draws a virtual perimeter on a map around a specific place. The moment your device crosses that invisible line, it triggers an action, like sending you that 2-for-1 deal that's designed to lure you inside.
Now, this tactic can also get way more aggressive. There's a strategy called geoconquesting. This is where a brand sets up a geofence, not around their own store, but around their competitor's store. So as you're walking into one coffee shop, a rival chain could ping your phone with an offer for a cheaper latte just a block away.
This technology is, incredibly powerful. It offers some very real benefits. But, and this is a big but, it also comes with some pretty significant risks. And that brings us to the central debate here, this great trade-off between convenience and our privacy. What's so interesting is the duality of this tech. I mean, the same data that helps emergency services find you in a crisis can be used for unwanted surveillance. The data that helps city planners ease traffic congestion can, if it gets breached, reveal your most personal routines. The real tension here is that the benefits often help society as a whole, while the risks, well, those are deeply personal.
And this feeling is everywhere. Research shows that people often feel what's called data insecurity, this real sense of concern and powerlessness because they just don't know who is using their data or why. It's a fundamental lack of control over their own digital lives.
And that feeling of powerlessness, it's often by design. It comes from something called dark patterns. These are user interfaces that are intentionally built to exploit our little cognitive biases and trick us into giving consent that we never really meant to give. Here's a classic example. An app wants your location.
The manipulative, asymmetric design makes the yes button huge and bright, while the other option is some vague maybe later. It's not even a real no. A fair, symmetric design, on the other hand, presents yes and no as equal, clear choices. It actually respects your ability to choose.
When you're faced with these kinds of manipulative designs over and over, and you feel like you need these digital services, many people just sort of give in. It's a feeling researchers call digital resignation. It's that sense of having no real choice, that you have to trade your privacy for convenience just to participate in modern life.
So what's the path forward here? The conversation is, thankfully, starting to shift. It's moving toward creating a more ethical framework for location data, one that's designed to build trust instead of just exploiting it.
Experts and public dialogues are pointing to 4 main pillars for a trustworthy system. The core idea is that any use of this data should intend to benefit society, not just profits, and there have to be real consequences for misusing it. This requires accessible transparency, like telling people in plain English what's happening, and most importantly, giving users meaningful agency, real, genuine control over their own information.
And all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, crucial question. We've established that your location data is a multi-billion-dollar asset. It helps run our cities, it powers our digital lives. But since it's generated by your movements through the world, who should ultimately get to control it, and who really deserves to profit from it? It's a question we're all going to have to answer as we try to draw the map for our digital future.